Hello, welcome back. I am Christina, and this week we are going to be focusing on wheel pose and kind of the basics of how to get into that posture, and then I'll be highlighting how to drop back into a standing position into wheel pose. So to get started, I want to show you a couple warm-ups because it's very, very, very important to warm up not only your back, but also your shoulders. Of course, like many postures, especially back bends, it's not just about your back. It's about core strength, it's about glute strength, it's even about hip strength and kind of the ability to open your hips while in the posture as well as your shoulders. So to get started, of course, we're going to come onto our hands and knees like so, onto tabletop position. And if you've been to a yoga class before, you're probably familiar with these two postures, cat and cow. If you're not, I can kind of show you the basics of how to do that. So we're coming into tabletop position, making sure that our wrists are stacked under our shoulders and our knees are stacked under our hips. And we also want to make sure that our feet are flat on the mat behind us. We're going to keep a nice straight back, our head's nice and forward, kind of like a table. And then we're going to inhale, we're going to tuck the tailbone down, sucking the belly button in so it's coming towards your back, rounding the back and tucking the chin into the chest. Making sure that our fingers are engaged here so we're not dumping into our wrists. And then on an exhale, we're going to do the opposite, dropping the belly, rounding the back, and finding a nice opening in our chest and heart. So we can kind of go through these at our own pace, making sure that we're following our breath. I would recommend doing these maybe 10 times each. But in honoring your time today, I'm just going to do a few of those. So feel free to pause the video and do that a little bit more if you want. We want to make sure our shoulders are open, so another nice posture to do is coming down, again, onto our hands and knees. But this time, we're going to go into a little pose called puppy pose. We can start with our knees on the ground, and we want to kind of come down, extending our hands in front of us, dropping the front of the chest onto the mat, trying to get the chin onto the mat. Try to slowly bring the chest down and try to bring those shoulders as far down as we can. Now, of course, I would say kind of stay in this posture maybe 20 seconds on, 20 seconds off, something about that. But again, honoring your time, trying to move through this quickly. We can go on to wheel pose. Let's come onto our backs. Your hair's probably going to be crazy if it's in a bun like mine. And we're going to come down with our feet about maybe like 6 inches. I can't really tell about what that is. Maybe a foot away from our booties. Make sure that our feet are maybe about hip distance apart. And we're going to come with our hands, rotating them down. So you want the fingertips to be placed closer to your shoulders here. So while you're in this posture, you want to make sure that our elbows stay nice and straight. Want to make sure our feet are really firmly on the ground just as our hands are. And when you're ready, you're going to pop up with the hips right here. And if you're feeling good, you think you can get to the next, you can come up, even resting on our head to make sure that we are comfortable. And if you're ready, if you're feeling good still, maybe bring those fingertips a little bit closer than they were. And we're going to come up onto the arms. It's going to seem a little bit like you're falling this way. So to make sure you're not feeling that way, you want to open up through the back, extending the hips up and sending your front body forward, so that your shoulders are really intact here. If you're feeling good here, you can always come in closer. Still keeping those shoulders or those arms nice and straight and those hips up. When you're ready, do the same, coming down onto your head and gently bringing those legs down. Now, if that was not very comfortable for you, I would not recommend dropping back. But I don't know how my hair looks right now, but let me fix this. Okay, but if that felt comfortable for you, you may be ready to drop back. So to start off, we come up, of course, into a standing posture. And I always keep my feet splayed out just slightly. You don't want to, of course, like that or something, but about maybe 10 degrees, 5 to 10 degrees. It kind of helps me have a bit of a stronger foundation than if I just go back with my, feet just straight on. You want to have a very strong base with your feet. You want all 10 toes really pressing into the mat so you have a nice, strong base. So you come into the end of your mat, finding that strong base, and let's start off with just a few back opening postures while we're standing. So I always like to manually feel these postures, so I can come back with my hands kind of on, right above my tailbone, right kind of on my tailbone, and let's slowly bend back just a little bit. We're not dropping back yet. And I want you to kind of pull down at the base of your back so you can really stretch forward. I don't know if these words are very eloquent right now. You really want to feel length in your spine. You don't want, just to bend back. You want to be able to lengthen and then bend. Lengthen, bend. So, gonna go ahead and jump into it. I, again, still really like, especially starting off, to feel myself bending, so I'm really able to be like, okay, I'm lengthening here, now I can bend. So to start off, we come with our hands still on the back. If you don't feel comfortable, you can always keep your hands forward. And we're going to slowly start to bend back, really peeling down the lower back so you can lengthen through the mid back. And we're going to slowly come down here, still feeling. And when you get to a point where you're like, all right, I think that's it until I can drop back, let's bring the hands forward. You can keep them at your chest, or let's extend back. When you're ready, bending down at the knees and dropping back. You still don't want this to be your wheel pose. You want to come up with the hips and come forward with the shoulders, straightening those arms. And now if you can tell, I'm on my tippy toes because this helps us get a little bit more length here and a little bit more lift. So I'm going to stop there. I'm not going to come back up yet. We're going to drop down onto our heads so we can come nice and slowly down. And here we go. I really hope that this was helpful for you. And if it wasn't, please tell me why. If you want more of a beginner version, please let me know, and I'd be more than happy to come up with a wheel pose for, before these two things. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, find me on all social media platforms with the same name, Christina V Yoga. I am Christina, and I love you very much. Have a wonderful day.